Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning.
Alicia, Reginald.
Good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning, everybody.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you guys very much for being on again today. It is a beautiful, based on what I see outside today, out of Texarkana, it is a beautiful, beautiful day outside. Hopefully, you'll have some chance to get out of your office and move past, all the paper that you have and move to the point where you're able to get out there and relax as well today while you're doing your drive. So, see, we have someone driving on there, Victoria. Drive safe, Victoria. Keep your eyes on the road and just listen to us.
Oh, I'm parked.
You're parked. All right. Okay. All right. But thank you all very much for being here today. Again, of course, this is our monthly call to work with the coalitions that exist here in Region 10 and Region number 11 from the region prevention provider standpoint, and then from Partnerships for Success, it's Region number 3, 17 plus counties that we have, and our responsibility is a very simple responsibility, is to bring us together to have conversations and let us help each other as it relates to the impact that we're going to make here in the communities that we're working in. We're moving forward from from activities to impact. And today's meeting is about strengthening, not just restarting our coalition. We're building capacity. We are clarifying direction. We're aligning our work with the real data and real community needs. This is not just about a conversation. It's about a working session. How do we move the needle? And all of us have some objectives based on what program that we're responsible for. But in all of those things that we're called to work on, whether it's with UAMS or it's with Bridging the Gaps or it's with in Union County with the Church Coalition or it's any of the other groups that are on here, we're all compelled to make a difference in the lives of a person. And I want to often remind us of that because sometimes, because of the deadlines that we have, because of the reports that we have, sometimes we move past the people and move to the data, the strategies, and things of that nature, but our activities. But please remember that, we're working to help people in our various different areas and sectors. Our coalitions, they're strengthened by membership, clarity, and then of course what we call follow through as well. We're aligning, people, data, and our strategies, but we have to always remember the key thing that we're focused on here is people. We want to make the lives of the people much, much, much better. And at this particular point, what I would like to do is for all of those that are on here, there may be somebody who does not know you. And so what we want to do is give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves. And here's what I want you to do. One, tell us your name, tell us what your agency is, and if you're located outside of, Texarkana, let us know where you're located. So name, agency, location, and then the fourth thing is when the snow was falling or when the ice was falling, would you let us know what did you do? What fun thing did you do when you were inside the house and you could not get out. I know a lot of people want to say, well, I was on Facebook, but give us some stuff, some fun stuff that you had an opportunity to do during that time. So we would go ahead and Victoria, since you're parked, can we start with you, Victoria? You can share with us who you are, where you work, what you do there, and then, of course, some fun thing that you were able to accomplish during the storm.
Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Bradley, and I'm located out of Hope, Arkansas, Hempstead County area. My agency is Victoria's Insurance, and I'm pastor of St. John Missionary Baptist Church. And doing it while I was in the snow, I got a chance to spend time with my daughter and learn how to make a cake in the air fryer.
Well, we're going to have some cake at the next in-person meeting. We know who to ask for some cake. All right. All right, Vicky, we're going to go ahead and shift over to you.
Hello, my name's Vicki Ward. I am the outreach manager for community partnerships with UAMS Cancer Institute. I am also the president of the Touch Coalition, which is the Union County Health Coalition in El Dorado. I guess the best thing I liked about being iced in, because I didn't dare step out my door because I don't do cold and I didn't want to hurt anything because it takes too long now at this age to heal. So I've done a lot of cooking, a lot of stews and soups and things like that just to warm my bones up.
Okay, so we have cake and we have stew. It looks like we have a group that likes to cook. Let's move on to Reggie. Reggie, we'll shift over to you.
All right. I'm Reginald Mitchell with Bridging the Gaps of Arkansas here in Texarkana. I really didn't do anything but watch a lot of TV and Facebook, and that's about it. Nothing fun.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Reggie. I thought maybe you was gonna cook some of that deer meat, but
I should have.
all right, Miss Howell, if you don't mind, we'll shift to you.
Good morning. My name is Alicia Howell. I'm a registered nurse. I also have a master's degree in public administration, as well as several certifications in rural health nursing. Let's see, what did you ask for next? I work for the Cancer Center in Little Rock, the Winthrop P. Rockefeller Cancer Institute. They require us to say the whole name, okay? So
Okay.
I work for the Cancer Institute in Little Rock, but I'm housed in Magnolia, Arkansas. I told you education. What fun things that I do? I made posters and flyers for nonprofit organizations. I love that. And I also perfected my grandmother's tea cake recipe.
Well, next meeting is going to be in person. We're going to have some stew, we're going to have some cake and some tea cakes. All right, I'll be over there today to pick up the tea cakes there. Let's see, I'll start in Hope, move to El Dorado, and then end up in Union County. And I should be full for the rest of the week. Miss Massey, how are you?
I am great. I am Carlene Massey, and I also work for UAMS Cancer Institute. And I am actually in Texarkana, but I do have 5 counties outside of Miller, 4 counties outside of Miller County. And the fun things that I did during the snow was absolutely nothing. I did cook. I made soups. I did bake a cake. I did cooking too. And the best thing was I didn't have to go to work, and then I could go to the door and look out at all the snow and then close the door and go get back on the couch under my Cowboys blanket.
Cowboys blanket. Oh,
My
Lord.
Dallas Cowboy blanket that I got for my birthday.
You were going well until you mentioned the Cowboys, but we won't go down that road today. Super Bowl is over with. Thank you, Miss Massey. All right, Mrs. Jackson.
Jackson Dawes. I also work with the Community Outreach and Engagement Department at UAMS, the Cancer. I'm a neighbor there. I'm located at Magnolia. And the fun fact that I did, I just binge watched movies.
Okay. All right. So we know we have somebody who's going to bring popcorn for the movies. We have Miss Massey who's going to cook food for everyone. We have Victoria who's going to give us some cake from the air fryer. And Miss Howell is going to give us some tea cakes. And then Miss Ward is going to give us some soup. So we're going to be all around so far. It's
that was done by Dr. Fang at a previous visit.
okay. So TRO ARC. I'm not sure who you are, but if you could tell us who you are, that'll be great.
Yes, my name is Teresa Roark. I am with the Washita County Medical Center in Camden. I'm director of our substance abuse treatment program.
Okay. All right.
And what I did during the ice and snow that was a lot of fun was that I made it to work. We're a hospital-based program, and rain, sleet, or shine, whatever the weather's doing, we have to be here. So that was a lot of fun. Luckily, I have a four-wheel drive SUV, so that made it a little bit easier.
All right, so we know who to call during the next ice storm. She's gonna come do a round and come pick up all that soup and the cookies and everything in the soup. All right, so let's move on. Shadia, you're on. All right, Shadia and Miss Dixon. If you can unmute yourself if you're talking.
Hey, I'm here. I'm just on the phone with someone. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Miss Dixon, if you don't mind.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Esther Dixon. I'm located in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I am a patient navigator with the Winthrop P. Cancer Institute with community outreach and engagement. I've been a part of the group since July of last year. So yay me, it's coming up on a year soon. What I did fun during the snow. I cooked like everybody else did. I cooked. I made chili the first night and then kind of did something each night. So kept my husband fed. So it was fun. Just chilling at the house and enjoying the beautiful scenery. I did not dare to go out in the snow. I kind of peeped out every once in a while, but I did not go out and venture out into the ice and snow.
Okay. All
But
righty.
nice to meet
Well,
everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to meet you as well. There's a lot of cooks on here. We're gonna have a cooking contest on this thing. That's what we're gonna do. Uh, let's see. Is it Shockwell?
Good morning, Latundra Sockwell.
Latundra. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sockwell. Yes. Okay.
All right, I'm Latundra Sockwell. I'm with the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. I work in the Department of Family Medicine. We had a gap service office here in Prescott, Arkansas that recently closed with the loss of funding, but we do still have one in our Magnolia area where we provide resources around HIV and STDs as well as a food pantry option in that location. And I'm housed out of our Little Rock, and I'm housed between Prescott and Little Rock. But yes, so I'm community minded. HIV research is what we're known for. Something fun. I watched my grandkids slide down a hill. So they had fun, so I had fun just watching them slide.
Okay. So you didn't slide down the hill?
Oh no, who said earlier? Vicky, I think, said earlier, these old bones take a long time to heal. So I stayed off the ice.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. And then we have Johnny Ross, who's on.
Hi,
And
can you hear me?
I can hear you, and we're just sharing our name. We're sharing
Oh,
where we work and what we do there, and then also
okay,
something fun that we experienced during the snowstorm.
gotcha. Okay, my name's Johnny Ross. I work at the VA Suicide Prevention Program in North Little Rock. Um, and we just go around and do trainings on how to speak to people that are suicidal and any ways that we can help prevent suicides with veterans or civilians. One thing I did fun, I went sledding. Thank God I did not get hurt. because I also do not heal as quickly. But I didn't get too adventurous out there. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. And thank each one of you all for introducing yourself. Of course, I'm Johnny Riley. I work with Bridging the Gaps of Arkansas, and we serve as the regional prevention provider in the southwestern portion of Arkansas and also the western part of Arkansas as well. We have several programs that we run. We have a senior center that we're responsible for. We have anywhere from 15 to 20 seniors per week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We provide meals for those individuals. We also have a partnership with one of the local food groups that are here that provide food for those particular seniors. We provide some educational programs for them as well. We provide employment opportunities for seniors through AARP here at this particular location. We also just recently received it's not a grant, but it's an opportunity to work with the Fatherhood Initiative, and we're responsible for 100 fathers throughout the region. So we're working with those guys as it relates to that particular project as well. You'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. What did I do? Well, I had to drive around in the snow to take a few people places, and then check on members of our church as well. And that was really important for us to make sure that everybody had what they needed during that particular time. And before the snow, Reggie, Luce, and a couple of the seniors had an opportunity to taste some soup that I actually prepared, which was some deer soup. And they were telling me that it did not even taste like deer meat. So if you all come, I will be willing to do that as well, as long as Reggie provides the deer meat. But thank you all very much for being on today. In that particular exercise that we went through, as you're holding coalition meetings, that may be something that you can do as well, because what it does is causes people to connect in some kind of way to the other people that are part of the organization that you're working with. Because if we don't know people, trust is always a factor, and you want to remove as many barriers as possible. And ways to remove barriers, and this is moving into coalition building 102. The ways to remove barriers is to find a common ground as a person, not from the organizational standpoint, but from a human standpoint. How do you connect to me as an individual? And as you noticed during the conversation, as people were introducing themselves, I kept emphasizing specifically what they had said to really show us that, hey, we are more alike than we are different, and that there are people who are different from you, maybe look or based on where they are geographically. But when it comes down to it, we're more alike than we are different. And that's what coalitions are about. It's finding that common ground to move the objective forward. And clear, when we want to be a coalition, some of the key points that we must understand is we want to have a clear purpose and a shared vision. When I say a clear purpose, it has to be clear. Bridging the Gaps of Arkansas, our goal is very simple: to build a healthy Arkansas. And that could be in several different aspects. It could be from some housing projects that we work with. It could be for providing food. It could be working with a troubled youth. It could be working with somebody who's coming out of the criminal justice system, coming back into the real world situation. It could be a combination of things, but our goal is to work through building a better and a healthier Arkansas. And then we have to understand that we are going to have a diverse group of sectors that are represented in our coalitions or in our groups that we work with. And we have to always understand why they're at the table. And we can't fool ourselves to say that everybody's at the table because they want to build a healthy Arkansas. Some people are at the table because they need to get a report filled out because they need 200 people they need to see. And we got to be honest with each other when that happens and know this person is here because they have a clear, objective what they are, what they're called to do. And we need to know that when we're starting to build these coalitions. We got to define roles and not just attendance. How many of us have, I know over my, with Bridging the Gaps as a whole, 30 plus years of it being organized from Louisiana all the way Texas and internationally, I just get tired of just going to meetings. I want to go to a meeting where I'm going to gain some information and I'm going to be able to apply that to my role, my responsibility, my duty, and my passion and my calling. And so that's part of what we want to do here through this coalition is, okay, let's get some training done. And you may have some information from your particular group that you want to share with us. Talk to us and say, hey, I want to share this about the Cancer Institute. Here's what we are offering to people, because what you don't know will hurt you. And there's a whole lot of stuff that we don't know. And we have to be able to share that information across different sectors. And then another point is we want to have data-informed decision making. With Bridging the Gaps, the staff often, say, well, we ought to do this. And what's the data saying? Why do we want to be data-driven? We want to be data-driven because it's going to tell us specifically where the problem is and what the root cause of the problem is. And those who are in the healthcare field know that you can have one symptom and it has nothing to do with what's wrong with you. And it's really digging into specifically data-informed decision making. And then, of course, we want to have consistent communication and, of course, follow-up. You want to make sure the people are informed on what is happening, what is going on. And then this point number 2 is identifying the priority sectors. If you're going to apply for grants in this environment that we're in right now, there's the buzzword today is community. The buzzword today is where we can work through no matter what is going on in the different sectors. And when you look at this issue of community, what we need is young people. I was in Washington, D.C. last week, and we were meeting with some of the senators. And in Washington, D.C., let me tell you about the power of having young people in the meeting. These young people had the wisdom and the understanding enough to convey a point to individuals who are going to make decisions about grant funding or about their particular activities. So we have to engage the young people in what we're doing. The parents need to be involved. What we figured out through APNA data and through other data sources is that the reason that children are smoking is because sometimes the parents are buying the weed or whatever they're doing. It's the parents that are doing it. And we've had young people in the Hope area, Sister Victoria, and Hope, we've had several people over there who, in our youth group that's over there, that said, where do you get the weed from? Got it from my mama, or I got it from my daddy. So you see what I'm saying? And we go to the child and say to the child, you don't need to smoke this or you don't need to drink this. But guess what? They're getting it from their parents or they're drinking with their parents. And then, of course, in the school system, we have to have the school as one of the sectors, because this is where from individuals who are 5 years old to 18 years old, they're going to spend the majority of their life in a school. 9 months of the year they're spending in the school. And we have to be able to tackle these issues that we are facing in the communities through the school system as well. And we have to have those school systems engaged in the process of bringing about the solution. Faith-based organizations, if you haven't heard lately, and when you look at the federal funding is shifting to faith-based organizations. Because what they're saying globally is that the faith-based organizations have been here longer than some of our community groups. And so there's a push For the faith-based organization, if you watch anything from DHS or DHH, faith-based is where it's going to be. That's where the dollars are going to be transferred to. We have to have the healthcare sector because healthcare intersects with all of our lives. From when we're born all the way to our last breath, we're going to have an interaction with the healthcare sector. The business component, and I've been talking with people about when it comes to raising funds. For instance, here at our center, we buy water every once in a while, but the majority of the water that we receive here is actually donated from one of the distributors that is here. Why? Because we develop a partnership with them. And when they have excess, our staff can go over there. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 cases. I'm talking about 20, 30 cases. There's Propel, there's Gatorade that's available there. Where does that come from? From the business community. Because remember, our funding is going to be limited. And whatever you can get donated, it's going to be great. And just imagine the business community, when they come engaged with what you want to do, what happens is that they tell their friends, and their friends want to be involved as well. Law enforcement, we have to make sure they're at the table as well, because they're individuals that are involved with the justice system, and we just can't throw them away. That's a part of the sector that we're in, and we have to be able to engage the law enforcement as well. Civic and volunteer groups are important. We have to have them engaged. Remember, we're talking about the whole community. The media. Let me tell you something about the media. I hope there's nobody on the media in here, but I used to have a TV show. And let me tell you, when I was doing the TV show, sometimes I wouldn't have anybody who wanted to come on. But this is before Facebook. This was almost 20 years ago. But what I started doing is when I would go to the community events and say, I know you want to be a star. And people would actually want to be on the show. What am I saying to you? All of these community groups, the cable networks that you have there, and many people don't know that the cable networks that are in your community, there should be a community channel. On that community channel, you should be able to get on. Somebody has a show. You should be able to get on that show and guess what? Tell your story. And then also people who are in media, especially those individuals who are reporters, they usually get an assignment and they usually have, 30 to 45 minutes to work out that assignment. If you want to be on the news, let me tell you how to be on the news. Everything that you do, send a press release to the media. Get to know them. They're always looking for a story. And then give them the questions that they need to ask you for the interview. Why? Because you want to get your word out, and free media is the way to go. Social media as well. You can use that as an option to get your word out as well. And then, of course, the local government is important for you, because when we talk about the sectors, and one thing that we do through Bridging the Gaps of Arkansas is that we go to visit with the school board. We make presentations in front of the school boards. We make presentation in front of the city council. We take presentation in front of quorum court, or any group that want us to make a presentation. And you know what we give them? It's a one-sheeter. We tell them, here's your county information. Here's who and how it's impacting your particular community, and here's what we can do to help you. And let me tell you, that is free advertisement, because the county and the city council and the school board are broadcast on Facebook, and guess what? You're in lights. And so that's the way to get your word out. And there are people who are actually watching that. And that's where you say, well, I don't have money to pay for media. This is how you get your word out. And there'll always be somebody there who's willing to listen. When we find sectors that are missing or underrepresented in our coalitions, what we have to do is go out and seek those individuals out. Whether it's the business community or it's a healthcare community or the faith-based community, whatever it is, we need to go ahead and seek those individuals out. Why? Because they're going to be the key to making sure your coalition outlives you. With Bridging the Gaps of Arkansas, what we're intending to do is let what we do outlive us. And that's why we focus on the young people. We got to get those young people. And in 2026 and 2027, we're going to be doing some training of young people. We're going to have a group that's going to come in and do a weekend training for young people that's going to help them learn how to make presentations, learn how to be in front of the camera, learn how to do motivational interviewing, all of those particular things. They can use that in life and also in their civil and social engagement. When we start looking at recruiting, remember a personal invitation for somebody that they trust is important. There's some people that we know that we've not invited to our coalition because we may think that, guess what? It doesn't fit in their particular aspect of life. But when you start hearing individual stories of how they dealt, because we do substance misuse, we do fatherhood initiatives. So we start hearing people's stories, and the number of people who've been impacted by substance misuse and addiction and things of that nature will blow your mind. And when we start having conversations with people, they're saying, hey, what can I do to help? But if you never ask them, guess what? They'll never say yes. You have to always ask the people in your conversations with folks. And you never know who they know. And especially with the funding issues that we face right now, we have to really continue to push forward. And I used to say, when I was working for the state government, when I first started working for the state government coming from a corporation, I said, we have enough money to fix all of these problems. I was naive to some point because I could see it from a surface level, but when we dig down to the root of these particular problems, there's some system issues that we had to deal with before we can get to actually where the fruit is. So, but this, as it relates to recruiting individuals, you want what? Personal invitation, clear explanation of why you want them to be a part. Let me say that again. You want to do a personal invitation. You want to have clear expectations on what you want them to do. You can't do it. I want you to be generally involved with the coalition. Tell them specifically what you do. You used to be in the media. You used to be in law enforcement. And the senior citizens, let me tell you, the senior citizens are looking for something to do. And don't let age fool you. There's some people who were school teachers. I can remember the foreman of Bridging the Gaps was with the lady. I was 30 and this lady was 80 years old, and we wanted to do a community event. And this 80-year-old lady told me, we're going to get this done. And let me tell you, at the end of this, it was 400 young people who came to that event. So what I'm saying to you is all of the people in our community and seniors are looking for something to say, I'm still valuable. The next point is retention. Our retention strategies, we have to have clear expectation. The work has to be meaningful between the meetings. Leadership development opportunities. For instance, with Bridging the Gaps of Arkansas, and let's say you're part of this coalition and you see a conference that's in Arkansas and you say, well, hey, I want to go to that particular conference, but you say, well, I don't have the money for the hotel, or I don't have the money for the mileage. Let's talk about that. Why? Because we want to make sure you're developed to the point, because you're already doing the work. You just need a little boost or a little help. And something that we've done in the past also is we had some mini grants in the past where we gave individuals mini grants to do meaningful programs in their particular community. It's all about us. If there's an event that Miss Massey is doing, or Miss Howell is doing, if there's an event that's out there that Miss Ward is doing, guess what? We need to say, how can I help her help them with their particular event? And sometimes it's just showing up. Why? You show up because you're always going to meet somebody when you show up. There's always going to be a conversation that leads to another opportunity. And then this public recognition you want to, I would tell my staff, oh, I don't want to be in the newspaper. I've been in the newspaper enough. I don't want to be on the news. You need to go do the news report. You need to be the one that in front of the news. Why do you want to do that? You want to give individuals public recognition for what they're doing. You want to show them appreciation. And then let's say they blow the whole conversation. It's not a time to get down on. It's a time for them to say, let me coach you through the next time. And you put them back up there again. Because strong coalitions don't grow by accident, they grow by design. And we have to strategically grow these coalitions because let me tell you, the issues that are out there, they're not going away. Whether it's with cancer, with eating, or substance misuse, I'm telling you, the issues are not going away. The food issue, the consuming of food, those issues are not going away. But in order for us to be effective in here, what we have to do is do some needs assessments. If you need help on developing a needs assessment in your particular community, let us know. If we don't know the person, we know somebody who knows the person that can help us with the information that we need. And if you already have a needs assessment, you can share that with us and say, hey, here's what happened. Here's what's happening in this particular community. What works in Little Rock may not work in El Dorado. What works in Texarkana may not work in Union County. And we got to tailor it. And how do we tailor it? Based on the data. The data has to guide our programs. What worked in 1922 is not working today. I don't care how successful it was. I was in DC this week and I was sharing with one of the senators. I said, we're looking at this issue of drug dealers on the street. I said, drug dealers aren't on the street now. Drug dealers have the Hawk courier service where they just like the UPS driver. They have people dropping it off they're dropping it off at people's front door now. It's not the guy on the block anymore. What we have to do is readjust how we're going to deal with these particular issues because the programs of 1960 and the programs of 1980 and even the programs of 2022 may not work today. And we got to adjust based on what the data is saying. And we got to look at that data that's going to work. And some of the data that we have that I want to mention to you is APNA, the youth surveys. If you're dealing with young people, you want to look at the school disciplinary issues and the attendance trends. Attendance can tell you a whole lot about children, about what's going on. And then school discipline. Why are these children, and find out when these children are getting into these altercations at school. Is it in the morning? One of the young people shared with us when we were doing some work, we were trying to figure out why these kids fighting at 7 o'clock in the morning. And what we found out is that this kid was being sexually assaulted. And when the kid got to school, the kid took out the abuse that they experienced the night before on someone else. And we didn't know that until we had a conversation with the child. The issue was there, but son, why are you at 7 o'clock in the morning wanting to fight? That doesn't make any sense. And so that's part of digging into what does the data say. The law enforcement data and EMS data tells us about, suicide ideation. Why are people wanting to commit suicide? What's causing them to get to that particular point? We got to deal with trauma. We got to remember, we got to deal with the community. We have to ask the people who we're serving, okay, how can I help you? And let me tell you, Miss Massey, you've been here at the center before and you asked the senior citizens, hey, how can we help you? And I'm telling you, they're willing to tell you. And so we have to ask that particular question. And when we ask the question, we cannot have our feelings on our shoulder because they're going to tell us some stuff that we may not want to hear. And once we get that data, we got to figure out where the gaps are. And then we got to prioritize the needs. I would love to be able to say to you, hey, we're going to be able to fix every problem. There's some problems that's so complicated, especially when you deal with intergenerational trauma that leads to somebody having an addiction issue. That now, not only do they have the addiction issue, they have the trauma issue, they have suicide ideation. Not only do they have that, they involve the criminal justice system. So all of that stuff, and then you got to unravel that. And we may not be able to do but one thing, which is a group session on Thursday for 1 hour because the child has ADHD also. You see what I'm saying? We only can deal with what we can deal with. And then we got to understand what the risk factors is. We have to understand what the family issues are. And we have to be willing to do that. We can't fix everything at once, but a focus, we can make an impact. We have to use the data because our funders, let me tell you something about the funders. The funders want to know how many people did you see? The funders want to know what impact did you have on that particular person? The funders want to make sure whatever you put in that application, that's what you did. And so we got to be prepared for those particular things because our data has to align with whatever strategies that we have. And what we have to do is we can't keep choosing programs. We got to choose priorities. What is important in Southwest Arkansas? What is important in Union County? What is important in Miller County? What is important in Ouachita County? What is important in Hempstead County? What are those pressing issues that we can work together to eliminate at the root cause level? We got to get to the root cause. I don't know if you all are doing the yard work, but I'm a shade tree gardener and I garden some stuff. And if you ever come to the center, you'll see I have a new experiment that I'm working on now, which is I have a tower garden that's aquaponic tower garden. When we first started out, I was like, Lord, I really made a mistake on this. But now everything is growing. And so what I'm saying to us is that we have to figure out what is our priorities. And when it comes to us working through these particular process, remember that if there's grass that comes through the cracks of the cement, we can cut the grass off at the top. But if the root is still there, the next rain, the grass coming back. And as we're working, that's what we have to realize is that when we cut off the top of it, guess what happens? If the root's still there, it's coming back. And I'm talking about folks who have issues with mental health, substance abuse, trauma, whatever those things may be. Let's get to the root cause. And I know the ladies on here who are dealing with cancer and HIV and AIDS and things of those particular nature. Guess what? Let's figure out why did this happen? And I'm going to close with this. When I was going to Angola, and you may have heard this story before, Angola, which is the Louisiana toughest prison in the world. I was going there to do some research, and my research was around a couple of things. One of them was around workforce development and rehabilitation of people who have been institutionalized for a long period of time. In my conversation with individuals, I refused to read why they were there. And it was strange for the staff. They said, you need to know who you're talking to because these people are real dangerous, and they were lifers. And so I would go in and I would have conversation with people, not to have any preconceived notions, but to talk to them as a person. And what I found is these men who I had talked to, a common thread was if someone would have taken me under their wings, if someone would have mentored me, someone would have cared for me and loved me when I was 13 or 14 years old, I wouldn't be here right now. I would have learned what I learned that while I'm here. And we're talking about these were men who were lifers. There's no way they're going to get out. These men were now mentoring other young people that were there in that institution, trying to help them not come back. You see what I'm saying? And so the goal of our push for the coalition is very simple. We want to help as many people as we can, and we want to build a healthy Arkansas in every aspect. This meeting, the objective is very simple. Let's bring people together who have a common priorities and goals, and let's see how we can help each other move forward. We'll do training every time. If there's training that you see that you want to do, and we may have $2 or $3 that we can help you get there. Why? Because we know if we're going to develop Arkansas to where it needs to be, it's going to take all of us that are on this call and others to make this thing happen. And so I want to close with that. Open it up for some discussions at this particular point, but we'll come back again next month, and hopefully one of you all be willing to share some information about how you do what you do. So at this point, we'll open it up for discussions.
If anybody is in the Texarkana area, we are having our coalition meeting tomorrow I'm not sure if how many of you guys were on last meeting where I gave the presentation on coalition building and recruiting coalition, but I will be giving that presentation again tomorrow at our coalition meeting here at the office. So if you're in the neighborhood or have something to don't have anything pressing to do, come by the office from 11:30 to 1 tomorrow. We're gonna be having that presentation along with a couple of other things on coalitions from other staff. So if you guys want to have something to do, we will feed you also. So you don't have to worry about buying lunch. We'll feed you. And like I said, come by tomorrow and it'll be a good experience for you.
All right. Thank you, Reggie, for that. All right. Anything else? Anyone else want to talk about anything or questions that you have about my presentation? And that presentation, as you're thinking, we have a book that Barbara and I have published. And it's not to raise money or anything like that. We published the book because as we get older, the older you get, there's some things you start forgetting. I don't know if anybody else want to admit that's on here, but I wanted to make sure that we could make sure that individuals who needed this information, young people, could take this information and go ahead and implement creating a coalition in their particular community, whether it's around the issues of, substance abuse or prevention of gun violence, which, in the Queen, we just recently had, 3 young people who were shot in the Queen, and 1 person died, so this violent thing, how do we fix that? There's a reason why it's happening. So any questions? Any questions?
I would like to have the info that you shared. I tried to take notes, but my notes might not be as good as if you have a PDF or a PowerPoint slide that you'd like to share. I'd be happy to have that. I'd like to look over the information again.
All right. Well, we're recording this session, and I forgot to ask. I apologize again. I was supposed to ask you, can we record this session? But I apologize for that. But it is recorded, and it usually does a great job on taking notes. And
Okay.
so I will get that to the group as well, so you can see the presentation from that particular point. Will that help you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And we're available to come out, our team. Reggie's on right now, but we have Shadia that's here, that's in Ouachita. We have Crystal Ball that serves in that particular area as well. We have Luz Vasquez that's also a part of the group that's here in the Texarkana area and works on up through the Queen and here in Miller County, as well as Reggie. So, and then Barbara and I. So we can come out if you have a community group that you want us to make a presentation to around mental health first aid. Shadia is certified to actually teach that, and we're working through now putting together a mental health first aid training here in our regions for families as well. So whatever you need, if we don't have it, we may know somebody who knows somebody who can actually help you as it relates to that as well. We have the PTTC, which covers 5 states. That is going to be New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. We have that team of people who we work with through the University of Oklahoma that can engage you as well and provide training for you. We have several people in our region who are certified to do all kinds of training. The Fatherhood Initiative, of course, with DHS has a program that relates to that as well. Shadia mentioned to us today that there is I think University of UAMS has a program for mothers as well, motherhood. So we're here to help. We know that it's going to take us being focused, intentional about what we do. Any questions? Any other questions that you have? Any comments you want to add? Yes, go ahead.
This is Latanja. Are we able to get a copy of that school report that you mentioned earlier?
The school report, you're talking about the APNA data, or are you talking about the school discipline and attendance report?
Both.
Yeah, the school discipline report is actually public record. You can call the school board and ask them if you can give the report, because it's a national report that they have to provide to Department of Education while it exists, and the attendance trend, that information is out there. Yes. And if you run into some problems, reach out to us or reach out to me directly, one of our staff people, and we'll find out for that specific school the data that you need.
Thank you. And then you also mentioned, or someone mentioned, that there's a coalition meeting tomorrow. Is that in Texarkana?
It is in Texarkana, yes.
So is that meeting different from the county coalition meeting that's happening today? Bowie, Texarkana coalition meeting?
Yes, those are two separate meetings. We have one here, which is along the lines for the DFC process, and we bring together community leaders. And then we have one that's focused specifically on, health and wellness. So the health and wellness is the one today. Tomorrow is the DFC grant, which is a grant for coalition buildings around substance misuse and abuse, is what that second meeting is about. Yes.
Okay, and sorry for all the questions.
No, that's no problem.
Is there a link for tomorrow's meeting for those who can't make it to Texarkana?
Well, we've never actually had that on Zoom, have we? So I'm assuming we can. It'll be great because staff is going to be talking tomorrow about specifically what they do and how they do it and things of that nature. So it's going to be a very impactful meeting tomorrow. So we can do that. Reggie, is it your meeting tomorrow, Reggie, or is it loose meeting tomorrow?
It's loose tomorrow, but I'm gonna be doing the presentation. I think me, Luce and Crystal, I think all are doing presentations, but we maybe can figure it out some type of way to get it on Zoom or something.
We can do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put it on Zoom for tomorrow. We'll put that on Zoom. We just
And
have to
also,
go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to add to let Ms. Otwell know that you all are also the one that is running the Nevada County coalition.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. We support it very, very well. Yes. Thank you. Any other questions that you guys have? Next
I have a
item up.
question real quick. Since we have so many people from UAMS on, do y'all know of any specific parenting classes for like young women who might be pregnant?
I don't know of any, but I do have one of they are housed here. So I can get with the nurse that is over that and I can find out and let you know.
Yes, please. Thank you, Miss Carlene. I
You're
miss you.
welcome. I missed you too, Shot.
Thank you.
I
It's
know
for
that they
our juveniles. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I know that there's a program called Baby Back Home, and I'm not sure what the criteria is or who's actually over it, but we can look into that also. I'm sure Ms. Carlene's familiar with that one also, and it may be one of the same ones. It's when they follow the parent after they've actually had after they've actually birthed the baby, they go home with them for several. They make several home visits to help the young lady and the family manage the child and child care.
Okay. So it's
Thank you so
called
much,
Baby
Miss
Back
Alicia.
Home. Can we have that information too? So
I'll
we can
certainly look it up for you now.
okay,
Hey,
if
I'll
you don't
share.
mind. Oh, and I see Miss Howell, you put it's One Body Fit for Life Zoom.
Yes, I host a Zoom call. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. It's for
Oh,
a women's wellness call. It's only 30 minutes. It's every Monday night at 6:30. We
oh,
have four.
go ahead.
we have four presenters. One is on health education, one is exercise, the next one is modifications, lifestyle modifications, and the very last one is they do a scripture and a prayer. The call is 7 minutes each. We usually target a particular health issue. If it's everything from cancer awareness, menopause, uh, uh, domestic violence, home safety. The age ranges from the women from 15 to 80 something. So we have usually anywhere from, I don't know, maybe 12 to 30 participants on the call. We do host specialists. We've had several doctors present, APRNs, law enforcement on older women and safety, women's violence, the latest scams. So we invite presenters that are specialists in their particular areas to present to the ladies on that call. Again, it's usually health, lifestyle modification, exercise, and then we have a scripture to support all those things for encouragement.
Okay. If you could send me some information on that, I'll put that in our network. I'm not sure what your capacity is, but I will, if you're okay with it, if you send it, we'll make it happen.
Okay. And
Okay.
when you say what my capacity is, I usually do the health education part if it's preventative screenings. So I'll talk to them
Okay.
about cancer preventative screening for 7 minutes. And then I'll have the exercise person do chair exercises or yoga exercises. She's a certified trainer. And then the lifestyle modification, she started out as a professor at the HBCU. She was health and fitness or kinesiology. And then we have someone that does a scripture, and that's it. It's 7 minutes each. It lasts 30 minutes. If I have a professor or a doctor or APRN or whatever specialist that we invite, they take up the 20 or 25 minutes. We yield their time, our time. They take up the minutes. Then we leave about 5 minutes for questions. And I'll
Okay.
drop the link in the chat and the information in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much. That's really good information. If there's some other information that you know that you can send to us, if it's happening in your community and we don't know, we have a network of folks. We have a couple of thousand people that are in a database that we can send your information to. If you're okay, send it to us. If you're okay with them joining, we'll send it and say, hey, here's another group that you can connect to. And so if you could do that, that'll be great. And anyone else who's on the call, if you're having a coalition meeting and you need someone there based on a particular expertise, if you can't get the person at the state level, we can call them as well and encourage them to participate. But if there's something that you need from us as the region prevention provider and the Partnership for Success provider for here or the Fatherhood Initiative, we're here to help and support you through this process. And of course, you can see the dialogue even today of how people were able to get some information done. So that's what this coalition is about. Let us work together, prioritize some of the issues that we're facing as a community, and let's deal with it at the root cause and create some powerful, transformational items that can last past us. We have 4 minutes. Mike, we see that you joined us. Mike, could you share with us who you are and share with us?
I'm with the Life Coalition in Louisville, Arkansas, and I'm the librarian at the Lafayette County Library. And so I've been talking to Keely, and she told me about the meeting, and so I decided just to jump on right quick and see what was going on.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, and y'all have there's the, Mike, I don't want to put you on the spot, but there's a law library type of thing that you all have there at the library. I've been there before, and maybe we can get you guys or someone from the library to talk about how that works, because is some free legal advice, if I'm not mistaken, as it relates to that.
Well, we do have a legal kiosk in there where it's called From Legal Aid Arkansas, and the computer is set where it can only go to that site. And people come in and they can look up things there. And they can also apply for free legal aid through that.
Mhm. And you see how there's some stuff we don't know. What we don't know, we don't know. And we have people on the call who know, who can actually help us there. So just want to say thank you very much for that. I want to say thank you guys very much for being on the call today. Great meeting, great insight. And we look forward to sending you the summary of this particular meeting after this. And if there's somebody else that you know that's in your network that needs to be a part of this, send them the link. We'll keep the same link so that we can every month, same time, we'll have this particular meeting, which is going to be the second Monday at 11 o'clock, and we're going to be on here for 1 hour. And if there's something that we can do for you from Bridging the Gaps, by all means, let us know. We're always willing to partner with individuals, but thank you for your time. And I look forward to seeing you guys. I know, Vicki, you and I have a call later on. Thank you for that. I look forward to visiting with you. And if you need us, by all means, just give us a call.
All righty. I shared a mammogram event in Magnolia for next month for
Okay.
you can get a free mammogram. So I posted the flyer over in the chat.
Okay, all right. And then Teresa posted her information in there as well to allow me to do presentations free of charge on addiction and prevention. So we have another person. If you're in Camden, we can, Shadi, I'm not sure if you know her or not, but you can plug into her as well. So you see there's some folks on the call that can get it done. We have that Zoom meeting that's going to take place Mondays at 6:30. Let's be a part of that. Let's support it. So if there's anything else you need, by all means, just let me know. Thank you very much for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your day. And please, next meeting, bring some of them cookies, that cake, and that soup. I look forward to it. I don't know how you're going to ship it over here to us, but at the next meeting, your entry is going to be some cookies and some cake and some of that soup that you guys know how to make. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.